All right, so today we're ditching the city sounds and heading out to the countryside. You sent us all those YouTube transcripts about what it's like living on a farm, especially from that video mix by Roger Bindle channel. And I gotta say, I'm really curious about those two kids, Roger and Leah. They seem to have a song for everything.
It's true, they really do. It's interesting though, don't you think? I mean, we're diving into this whole world of farm life through these catchy little kid songs.
Yeah. At first I thought, okay, cute songs about chores.
Yeah.
But then I realized there's something deeper here, right? Like these kids are up at the crack of dawn, milking cows and collecting eggs. Remember that Life on the Farm song?
Oh, yeah. With the dancing chickens. I think it's easy to dismiss those songs as just, catchy tunes for kids, but you're right. They actually give us a really interesting look into the daily routines on a farm.
Totally. It's like their whole life revolves around this structure, this routine.
Oh.
Every day seems planned out, and they make it seem so, so normal.
Right. And that's the thing about kids and routine, right? Think about it. Repetition is how they learn best. Like when they were learning their ABCs. And these songs, they're like sneaky little lessons about responsibility and sticking to a schedule.
It's like they're learning without even realizing it. But let's be real, it's not all work and no play on the farm, right? They sing about playing with their friends at school, going fishing.
And don't forget those cookies. You know those scenes with mom and the freshly baked cookies?
Oh man, those get me every time. It
Yeah.
makes me want to move to a farm just for the cookies.
Yeah,
But yeah, it shows that they have a good balance. Chores are important, but so is spending time with family and friends.
exactly. It kind of breaks that stereotype, That farm life is all isolating. They're out there making friends, having fun. It's just, well, a little different kind of fun than maybe what we're used to in the city.
Speaking of fun, these kids do so much more than just chores. I mean, they're out there fishing, gardening, even dancing with the animals by that big red barn. Do you think growing up on a farm makes everyday life an adventure?
That's a good question. It makes me think about that connection to nature. They're not just living on a farm. They're really immersed in it, caring for animals, seeing where their food comes from. It's all part of their daily life.
Even their dog seems to want in on the action.
Yeah.
Remember that song where he's dreaming of being a bird or a fish?
Yeah. I mean, maybe he just wants to chase squirrels, but it's still a funny thought.
It makes you wonder, though, right? Like, does growing up surrounded by all that nature change the way you see the world?
It has to, doesn't it? I mean, their dog dreaming of flying.
Yeah.
Maybe that says something about the freedom that Roger and Leah experience every day.
And speaking of freedom, one thing that really stood out to me was how many of their songs are about food.
Oh, yeah.
Raising chickens for eggs, picking veggies from their garden. They even have a song about using homegrown wheat for mom's homemade bread.
I know. Can you imagine? Knowing exactly where your food comes from. It's amazing. It really is. In a world where food just kind of appears on supermarket shelves, those songs are like a breath of fresh air. It's about appreciating the process,
Mm.
Something I think a lot of us forget about.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what else I noticed? They give names to all their animals. It's not just the chickens or the cows. It's Clyde the cat, Cass the cow, Doug the dog. It's like they're part of the family.
And they are, in a way, aren't they? That's an important point you bring up. Those animals are more than just, well, animals, I guess. They're part of their lives, each with their own personality.
Totally.
And that probably teaches them a lot about respect and responsibility for living things, which is a pretty amazing lesson no matter where you live.
Okay, so let's talk more about this whole responsibility thing.
Yeah, responsibility, it's a big one for sure. I mean, you see it everywhere in those videos,
Well,
right?
yeah.
Not just in how they care for the animals, but like how they approach work in general.
Right, like it's just a given that chores are part of life.
Totally. And it's not like they're singing about, sleeping in on a Saturday morning or anything.
No, not even a little bit. Those kids are up before the sun. Remember those lyrics, early to rise for the farm sunrise?
I mean, it's kind of built in, isn't it? Farm life. You can't exactly tell a cow to wait till you've had your coffee.
Yeah, no kidding. Makes you wonder, though, if maybe that's part of what makes it so appealing, that connection to the natural rhythm of things.
Totally. Like the farm itself sets the schedule and they just go with it.
Exactly. And they never make it sound like a chore either, right? Like, even when they're singing about mucking out stalls or whatever, it's always upbeat.
Yeah. It's like they find the joy in it, And it makes you think about work differently, doesn't it? Like, what if we all approached our jobs with that same kind of enthusiasm?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a lesson in there somewhere for all of us. But, we've been focusing a lot on the positive aspects here.
Yeah.
What about the flip side? Are there downsides to this lifestyle that the songs might not be showing us?
Oh, for sure. I mean, no lifestyle's perfect, right? And farm living definitely has its challenges.
Like what? What kind of challenges are we talking about?
Well, for starters, think about the stuff that city folks take for granted, like access to stores and restaurants.
Yeah, that's true.
And what about things like healthcare or even just seeing friends? I mean, we see Roger and Leia going to school and playing with their friends, but
But we don't know how far they have to travel for any of that.
exactly. And that could be tough, especially for kids.
And let's not forget about the financial side of things. I mean, farming isn't exactly known for being a super stable career path, right?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, think about it. Their livelihood depends on things they can't control, right? Like the weather.
Right. One bad storm could ruin everything.
And then their market fluctuations and all that stuff. It's a lot of pressure.
It makes you realize there's always more to the story,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's easy to romanticize a certain lifestyle, but
Yeah,
every choice has its trade-offs.
absolutely. I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect life, is there? But, maybe those challenges are part of what makes it so rewarding. Think about it. Overcoming obstacles, learning to be resourceful.
Right,
Those are valuable skills no matter what you do in life.
for sure. It makes you wonder, though, what Roger and Leah will think about all this when they're older. Like, will they want to stay on the farm and keep the tradition going?
It's a good question. Or will they be like, see you later, farm life, I'm out of here.
Right.
Maybe they'll become lawyers or astronauts or who knows. It's exciting to think about all the possibilities.
Totally. I guess that's the beauty of it, right? Like,
Yeah,
these kids are learning so much every day just by living their lives. It's not like they're sitting in a classroom reading about responsibility. They're out there living it.
exactly. They're getting real world experience. And those lessons, those are the ones that stick with you.
Absolutely. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today, haven't we? From singing chickens to the challenges of farm life, we've really dug deep into this world.
We really have. It makes you appreciate where your food comes from, that's for sure.
It does. So the next time you're biting into a juicy tomato or enjoying a glass of milk, maybe take a second to think about Roger and Leah and all the hard work that went into getting that food to your table.
I'll definitely be thinking about those cookies.
Me too. All right, that's it for this deep dive into life on the farm. But as always, keep those questions coming. We love hearing from you. Until next time, stay curious out there.